wretched creator. Oh, why do I live? Why do I not extinguish the spark of existence which you so wantonly bestowed?
What a marvelous beast. How perplexing is his stature, yet his resemblance holds human. What manner of monster?
Why should I not burn them all? Their cottage, their faces. I loathe their faces. In sorrow is my fate. With this monstrous form, how can I live?
Is this some kind of trick? Is he a Eurasian spy?
This man will abhor my presence.
I may be a blind man, but I can still see you there. Was it you who was talking? I assure you, I mean no harm.
Can you not see me, old man? Do you speak truly of your blindness?
If it was my fate to see you I would. But the gods granted me blindness, so it is blindness I have. Tell me, what gives you such a poignant attitude? What toils has fate troubled you with?
I'm a most hated creature. Oh, if you could see my form, gaze upon my countenance, you too would cast me out. Humanity detests my being.
I can understand your position, friend. I too could once be considered a monster, and because of it I was banished from those I loved. If the world could illuminate thee, what would I find? How remarkable is your appearance, or actions, to gain such resentment?
There's no need for me to be furtive of my actions. So in complete honesty, old man, I'm simply not human.
How can one be not human but possess such similar qualities? The way you walk, speak, and carry yourself is all remarkably human.
Please do not fear. There's no need for you to run away. We're only here to please our fervent curiosity, not to do you harm.
I can tell we're not the only ones in this forest. I can tell they speak the truth. No need to be capricious.
Yes, please recount your history. With how harrowing it may be, please do tell.
So I've been cast out. Humanity cannot accept me, and I fear they never will.
Humanity's been hideous to you, yet you still return to them. So I ask you, what do you want, creature? What do you desire from society?
Well, as I attempted to ingrain myself into human society, I realized that I never considered what form of society would accept my heretical self and grant me the freedoms that I desired. My whims were based on one vital question, which I see as inscrutable. It is impossible for me to arrive at a precise answer, as it is such a multifarious prompt. What makes a free and just society?
I do struggle with that myself. But I'm confused about how we could proceed with this discussion if we don't define our most important terms. Therefore, I suggest we define the meaning of freedom and justice.
That makes sense. I believe freedom is the ability to engage in a society without one's individual being oppressed.
I would argue it's the ability to be happy and ignorant, not being repressed by stress and demeaning thought.
This reminds me of a great period of my life when I felt true ignorance. Unfortunately, now no disease nor anything else can kill me, for I would not have been saved from death but for some dire fate. Though this destiny is mine, not yours.
Alas, I felt bliss when I was ignorant of the true nature of your species, but that was just me. Human society is already ignorant, rejecting an innocent creature for the intuition that forces them to make rash and unjust decisions.
Truly, it is irrationality that plays the largest part in the oppression of a person. Freedom is the ability to think with your own mind and supersede humanity's false notions. It is the ability to do as you please and forge your own connections without being questioned and targeted on harmful prejudices.
How do you suggest one changes the irrational nature of humanity? If you truly want to be accepted and treated fairly, you should submit to a higher authority who would force everyone else to accept you and treat you fairly. It is the ability to do as you please and to forge your own connection.
But how can society run smoothly without some parts of one's individual being repressed? The government is important, and society runs based on what the government believes and is best for society, even if it means some freedom is taken away. The government must be impregnable, unquestioned. Orthodoxy is key.
I don't like that idea of repression, O'Brien. I just want everyone to coexist in such a way that they recognize each other's freedoms and do not judge anyone based on anything except their integrity.
But you do realize that this is impossible. Surely you've experienced the damaging aspects of human nature to this very notion.
True, but I've seen their capacity for empathy and compassion.
Well, then encourage those aspects of human nature by tearing down the rest. In the pursuit of justice, which I would argue is the necessary protection to everyone's freedoms, there has to be some repression to human nature that actually works against another's freedoms, right?
Sure. Don't run away with that idea of justice. Why would justice protect an illusion that is harmful? I am blinded and ruined today because I believed in that illusion. I hurt everybody in the process. Everybody has their place in society, and if they are not relegated to that place, they interfere with the authority and the will of their other virtuous peers.
Are you sure freedom is a harmful illusion? I've managed to make it into a tool for a perfect society. Everyone makes their own decisions. Simply take away the number of decisions so that people have no choice but to follow you of their own free will.
Don't run away with the idea of freedom. How can the restriction of choice equal preservation of freedom? From your view of government and shaping choice, it seems as if your free dissentful thoughts against you will be met with prosecution. Influencing decisions with fear and incorrect education is no different from influencing them with a disgusting clamor. My friend, you present the illusion of freedom. As Oedipus said, everyone will either end up in their determined place in society or dead.
Not if you will. Society has failed time and time again. If people could use their free will to stagnate their superiors and harm others physically and emotionally, you say that justice works to repress some human freedom. Who dictates how much?
Frankly, if you believe in freedom, we must draw the line where meritocracy is undermined in the pursuit of societal bliss. If people are free to occupy their most fitting positions, they are guaranteed not to be sabotaged by selfish, individual, or government such as yours.
Exactly my point. Governments and authority are selfish. You cannot impose rules upon he who creates them. Therefore, the only option that is not guaranteed to cause ruin and distrust is one where a false and monotonous reality is created in pursuit of societal purity. If the reality is monotonous, then free will is monotonous. Exists, but not in your ideal.
Deluding people into believing that they have free will is contradictory. It is an imposed decision that they must make in the face of other suppressed ideas. You might as well admit that there is no free will in your society.
So what should the government or authority do if the goal is to create a virtuous society?
But a society is not virtuous. As I said, the government serves itself. The government only seeks power entirely for its own sake, not wealth, luxury, long life, or happiness. Only power. Pure power.
My society has but a few faults. It let me rise to the top. It's clearly better than yours. What you mentioned was the only way to enforce a common value. The only limitation of freedom, therefore, should be implemented with the intention of creating a meritocratic society, which means that everybody has the equal opportunity at success.
I would agree. If someone is presented with an opportunity, they cannot ask for anything more than a chance. One is not entitled to complete equality, as O'Brien said. Freedom is the ability to be presented with the same choices and to make those choices freely, not to be guaranteed the same outcome.
A person's value is not diminished nor enhanced because of their choices. Everyone should work towards a common goal. My society has done that superbly. Why should we define freedom as equal choices when everybody can contentedly live knowing that nobody was left behind by the rigged system that your kind created?
O'Brien, freedom is the ability to make your own choice. That's why it's so damaging. Humans are selfish and ignorant creatures that have seen nothing beyond the boundaries of their own personal bubble. Why trust them to better society if we can't even trust them to better themselves?
That's the point of justice. We give humans the incentive to perform correctly and not injure another based on their own superstitions. Authorities have no incentive to help another, meaning the only way to create a virtuous society is by placing the power of choice in the masses, by punishing any attempt to override the equality of choice and of opportunity.
I cannot rest easy without mentioning that my version of justice is strictly set towards my desire to be treated humanely. I'm an unfortunate and deserted creature, an outcast in the world, that only desires my freedoms to be preserved and protected.
You must understand that is a foolish notion. If society builds itself on that idea, it will surely crumble and destroy itself in no time. If everybody's free, biased choice is protected, then a society will be a mash of conflicting practices with no ideological reference. A moral code is ultimately based on what benefits the masses, not your individual.
I suppose, but
While we have contrasting views on how justice should be enforced to ameliorate a society, we all should be in agreement for a community to prosper and survive. There must be an authority that can limit freedom in order to create a virtuous society.
I agree. Authority is necessary for the prosperity and growth of a community. There can't be room for any selfish desires when putting the greater good into thought. A society should not be built off of a mortal's whims. Creature, you understand the necessity for the regression of human nature, right?
I understand, yes.
Then the regression of individual freedom is the next logical step, no? The sacrifice of one's individual liberty can allow for all to pursue a synonymous interest.
Although your communities lack effectiveness and efficiency and prosperity like mine, I do agree with that point.
It's all starting to make sense. I'm certainly not human and I've never been part of human society. It is hard for me to grasp the understanding of human authority suppressing human freedom. However, I am able to understand the naivety behind trusting humans to accept me without anything influencing their actions.
I can understand the harshness that can come from forgetting one's past experiences. I have experienced many tragedies in my lifetime, but at least I am grateful for your acknowledgement.
While this has been interesting, I must proceed. My creator lives, and our paths shall surely cross. There's no time to waste.
Unfortunately, your travels will be cut short. Your presence here is quite fortunate for my Oceania, and it would be improper of me to take this opportunity for granted. I'm only saying this once, creature. Follow me and be spared.
O'Brien, this is insane. Was this plan of yours contrived from the very start?
There is no need for violence, O'Brien. Do not follow through with your intentions. You will surely regret it.
You want me to come with you? To your nation so I can what? Be your animal?
Last chance. I warned you. You cannot live if you would not make the act of submission, which is the price of sanity. But you prefer to be a lunatic, a minority of one. You understand that only the disciplined mind can see reality. Creature, come with me and see reality.
I resented humanity because they could not accept me. I see now, O'Brien, that you see all equally, all indiscriminately, and all as yours to control. I will not offer up my mind to you.
Wrong choice.
As I thought.
That is not what I expected.